Critics say the complex billing and interest rate practices of credit card companies are, in some cases, pushing Americans even deeper into debt. Joining us to talk more about this is Thom Fox. He's a community outreach coordinator at Cambridge Credit Counseling. Good morning to you, Thom.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
No
Tell us a little bit about how the way credit card companies bill and charge interest is affecting consumers.
Well, the main issue is that consumers need to be educated on how they're getting billed, and right now that the way the disclosures are set up on the credit card applications are not very consumer friendly. They're written at a level that is way beyond the average consumer's understanding.
And so what do people need to look for? What are some of the things they need to look out for when they're applying for a credit card? What are some of the pitfalls they should be aware of?
Well, they should be aware of anything like universal default. Universal default is a measure where if you're late on any of your credit obligations, your current creditor can raise your creditor interest rates, they can lower your credit limits, and they can charge you additional fees. You also want to be on the lookout for any kind of penalty interest rates. You may get an account at, let's say, 8% interest, but the penalty interest rate could be around 29 or even 30%.
And what do you think the best way is to avoid some of those late payments that you might forget about, or you're just late for whatever reason?
You obviously want to pay your bills on time. As soon as the bill comes in, you should make a good measure of getting the payments out that day. You really don't want to get into a cycle of late payments because, again, you get all these penalty fees, and that really hurts your wallet.
All right, and also, isn't it also true that people need to really take personal responsibility for this in terms of what they're spending and not spend the money that they don't have?
It is true, but I mean, the measure is that the average consumer doesn't have the credit education. Organizations like Cambridge exist to help consumers better understand how credit works and how to make good finance decisions. Our particular organization can be reached at 1-800-CAMBRIDGE, and we can give free advice to people on how they could really get a hold of their situation.
All right, Thom Fox, I guess the best advice is to get educated. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.